Hi there. Today I'm going to take you through how I go about taking part in the RSGB's UKAC contests, and today we're going to take part in the 6 metre contest which starts at 8 o'clock. So here's the RSGB's contest page, and you'll see that the dates of this month's contests are given, and then the list of claimed scores, and finally the adjudicated contest results. So you can keep track of all the contests, all the legs, how you're doing and how the club's doing too. A quick look through the UKAC contest rules. The exchange on the UKACs is straightforward. It's signal report, serial number, which starts at 001 each time, and your 6-character QTH locator. So if you're not sure of that, then look it up before you start. The scoring system is straightforward. It's 1 point per kilometre multiplied by the number of UK locator squares that you work. A couple of things about that. If you're wondering about how you work out the distance between you and the stations that you work, good news is you don't need to. When you upload your log or send your log in, the system, the RSGB system, will work that out for you. So no need to work out the distance between you and the stations that you've worked. It is UK locator squares. So if you work a station outside of the UK, you do benefit from the points gained from the distance between you and those stations, but their locator squares don't count as multipliers. So it's not as advantageous to work stations outside of the UK as it would have been had they counted. But it's still worthwhile because, as I say, you do benefit from the points you get for the distance. There are 4 sections you can enter. In the open section, power output has got to be greater than 100 watts or 40 watts on 4 meters, and not more than 400 watts or 160 watts on 4. And there are no antenna restrictions in the open section, so if you want to run with stacked or bayed antenna systems, you can do. However, if, like me, you've got more lowly power output and equipment, you can enter the restricted section, which is in fact where a lot of stations do enter. In the restricted section, power output has got to be more than 10 watts or 4 on 4 meters, and not more than 100 watts or 40 on 4. And there are antenna restrictions. Chiefly, you can only use 1. If you're running lower power than that, then the power output mustn't exceed 10 watts in the low power section. So this is a good section for new licensees, for foundation licensees. So power output mustn't exceed 10 watts or 4 watts on 4 meters. And again, those antenna restrictions apply, only 1. Finally, there's the UKAC DXs section, where maximum output power is permitted by standard license conditions apply. There are no antenna restrictions, but the big difference here is that the active use of DX clusters and chat channels like ON4 KST is allowed. In the other sections, it's restricted. All the UKACs take place on Tuesdays from 2000 hours to 22:30 local time. 2 meters is on the first Tuesday of the month, 70 centimeters on the second Tuesday, 1.3 gigs on the third Tuesday, and 50 megs and 13 to 3 sems on the fourth Tuesday. If you're into 4 meters, then when there's a 5th Tuesday in the month, it's the 70 megs 4 meter contest night. Most of the other rules are pretty obvious if you have a look at them. You don't, incidentally, have to be a member of the RSGB to enter the RSGB's UKAC contest. Quite an important point, that. But you do need to be a member of an affiliated society. So if you're a member of MKARS, then you can enter as a member of MKARS, and your points will then count towards the MKARS overall tally. I'll show you how that works a little bit later on when we upload the log from this evening. Okay, I'm just going to quickly show you my mast, which has all my VHF antennas on for the UKAC contests. they're on a Clark mast, which as you can see is attached to my shack, which is a porter cabin. The mast stands on a tripod. Well, actually it's not a tripod, there are 4 legs, and you see it's also connected with scaffold poles to the shack itself to hold it steady. It's pretty level, it needs to be, because of course 40 foot up in the air, if it's not level, then the whole thing acts as a pivot and it would fall over. It's fairly windy today, so whether I'm going to have it all the way up or not depends on how alarmingly it begins to sway as it goes up. There's a pneumatic pump, which is just a car pump, which is in that box down there, and then it's plumbed into a switch from my 12 volt supply, which is just there. Now what I do is I tend to force it to put the top element up first, and then I close that off, and then the next element, and close that off, and so on. Naturally it would push up the bottom element first, but because it does tend to lose a bit of air while it's up, I try and force it to put the higher element up first. Alright, so I'm going to switch it on, and then I'll let the elements up and you can have a quick look. As I say, I might not put it all up. There, by the way, are all the antennas on top. It's a 4 element 6 metre beam, a 5 element 4 metre beam, and right at the top an 8 element 2 metre beam. At the moment, all that lot is just on the rotator with no cage. I've got a cage on order, and it should be with me next week, which will be a bit of a relief. I say I may not put the whole thing up today because it's very, very windy, and the mast is untethered, so in heavy wind I don't tend to put the whole thing up. Anyway, here we go. I'll show you how it goes up. So I'm going to switch on the air. And up goes the top element, if you can see that or not. Yeah, there we go. So I just tie the top element up there, and then you can see the whole thing going up, which is probably not very good from this angle, but it's a very small garden down the bottom, so can't easily get a better angle for you. The whole thing takes a couple of minutes to go up to the full 40 feet. There we go. So now you can see the mast going up. And yes, before somebody tells me, I know the antennas are not properly lined up. It's very hard to get them all aligned when they're up there. But when I have them all down to put the cage on next week, I'll try and align them a bit better. They're all a bit skew-with, aren't they? So we've now got 2 more elements to go, and let's just let me have a look to see how much it's swaying. Yes, it's swaying. I do have a spare pair of underpants down here in the shack just in case. I think I might need them. Okay, I think I'm gonna leave it there. I've lost my nerve, and I'm going to let it back down again because it is swaying around like a good one. So to let it down, let me just reposition you. I've got a valve, and then where is it? There we go. There's a valve which is just there. It's just a washing machine valve. Yeah. Full of water. wet trousers, and oops, now you can see that the thing's coming down again. There we go, one Clark mast, and for the UKACs, as we've said before, you don't need anything as special as that really, but it does help obviously to get your antennas up as high as you can, especially when you're in town. For anyone who doesn't know my QTH in Leighton Buzzard, I am smack bang, well, say smack bang, very low down first of all, so a lot of noise and a lot of buildings unless I can get my antennas up in the air. So the beam does, the mast does help in that respect. Okay, so that's the Clark mast and the beams on top. Tonight I'm going to be taking part in the January leg of the 6 metre UKAC contest, and this contest runs all the way through the year, once a month on each of the VHF and UHF bands. And I'll try and do as many of them as possible. They're nice and easy contests to do, very simple and straightforward. They don't tend to get too crowded, although sometimes if 6 metres is open in the summer, it can get quite busy. But otherwise it's a reasonably calm and gentlemanly contest, so if you're a bit contest shy, it's a good one to start with. Equipment is really simple. I'm running an FT897 for 6 metres. And of course it's capable of 100 watts, but I'm only running 50. I've got a rotator, and that controls my 4-element beam on 6 metres up on the mast. You don't have to run anything quite so flash as a 4-element beam. You can do the contest quite satisfactorily with a dipole, or even with a vertical, but certainly with a dipole. On a band like 6 metres, especially over the summer when the conditions are very good, you can work all over Europe on a dipole. So perfectly possible to do the contest even more simply than I do it. Look. Okay, it's 3 minutes to 8, and so the contest will be getting underway at 8 o'clock, finishes at 10:30, and I usually do it quite leisurely, so if I fancy a break or want a cup of tea, I do so, and we see how many points we can clock up. I'll tell you a little bit about the pointing system later on. I'll show you the way that I keep the log, and also I'll show you the way that I upload the log to the RSGB point system, or the log, later on. You can do it by computer of course, but being an old-fashioned kind of guy, I like to keep a paper log, so all my records are in paper, and then I sit and transcribe them onto the RSGB system after the contest, which would be a pain if I worked hundreds of stations, but as you'll see, we won't work that many, especially in January. It should be fairly straightforward to transcribe it later on.
Siki contest, Mike 0, Sierra, Alpha Tango, Mexico 0, Sugar, America, Texas, Italy Oscar 91 Square, calling Siki contest and listening.
2 Echo 0, Victor Papa X-Ray.
2 Echo 0, Victor Papa X-Ray, very good evening, 51001, 5 and 1, 001, Italy Oscar 901, Tango Papa, over.
Yes, very good evening to you. You are 5 and 5, 55001 in Italy Oscar 91, Quebec Victor. That's 91, Quebec Victor, over.
QSL 55, number 1 in 91, Quebec Victor. Many thanks for the points, good luck, speak to you on the next one.
73, good luck.
73 QRZ, Mike 0, Sierra, Alpha Tango contest. Siki contest, Siki contest, Siki contest.
Siki contest, Siki contest, 2 Echo 0, Victor Papa X-Ray contest.
Mike 0,
G1MZD, very good evening, Dave. You are 5 and 5, 55, 002002 in Italy Oscar, 91, Quebec Victor. And I wonder where you are. You at home?
Yeah, certainly I'm at home. Yeah, I'm moving in the opposite direction. Yeah, you're just 55001, Italy Oscar, 92, November Bravo. Just trying to get 10 watts at this time, anyhow. I heard the GM was quite strong a little while ago, but he disappeared. But there we go. Okay, 7-3, good luck.
I shall see if I can find him. 7-3's Dave, have a good one, and I'll catch you later. And CQ contest, 2 Echo 0, Victor Papa X-ray contest. 2 Echo 0, Victor Papa X-ray. Yeah, very good evening. 2 Echo 0, Victor Papa X-ray. 2 Echo 0, Victor Papa X-ray, over. Yes, very good evening to you. You are 5 and 2, 52, 5 and 2, 52, 003003 in Italy Oscar, 91, Quebec Victor. Italy Oscar, 91, Quebec Victor, over.
Golf 3, Papa, Yankee, Echo Portable, CQ contest.
2 Echo 0, Victor Papa X-ray.
Couple of stations, 2 Echo 0, Victor Papa X-ray, first 59008 Juliet Oscar 02, Charlie Echo, roger.
Yes, thank you very much. You are 59004, 59004 in Italy Oscar, 91, Quebec Victor. 91, Quebec Victor, over.
Yeah, roger, roger. Thanks for the points. We'll catch you later. Golf 3, Papa, Yankee, Echo, Portable, contest. Okay, couple of stations. Golf 4, Charlie Lima, Bravo. Good evening. 59009, 59009, JO02, Charlie, Echo, roger.
CQ contest, 2 Echo 0, Victor Papa X-ray contest. Yeah, Golf 5, Mike Whiskey. Golf 5, Mike Whiskey. Very good evening. You're 5 and 4, 54, 007. James Bond, 007 in Italy Oscar, 91. Quebec Victor. 91 Quebec Victor, over.
Yes, received. 94, 007, 591 Quebec Victor. You have 53, number 8008 in Juliet Oscar, 01 Golf India, JO01 Germany, Italy, over.
Yes, all copied. Thank you very much indeed. Have a very good contest. Bye-bye for now. And QRZ contest, 2 Echo 0, Victor Papa X-ray contest.
Golf 3, Uniform Foxtrot Yankee.
Golf 3, Uniform Foxtrot Yankee. Very good evening. You're 5 and 7, 57, 008 in Italy Oscar, 91, Quebec Victor. 91 Quebec Victor, over.
Roger, roger, thanks. Good evening. Also 57 005 India Oscar 91 Whiskey Juliet. Whiskey Juliet, yes, sir?
Yes, all copied. Thank you very much indeed. Have a good contest. Bye-bye.
Bye.
QRZ 2 Echo 0, Victor Papa X-ray contest.
Golf 4, Hotel Foxtrot Uniform.
Golf 4, Hotel Foxtrot Uniform. Very good evening. You're 55, 55, 009. 5555009 in Italy Oscar 91 Quebec Victor. That's 91 Quebec Victor, over.
Roger, QSL, Q4HSU. Thanks for that. You are 58002 in Italy Oscar 91 Oscar Uniform. QSL?
Yes, all copied, QSL. Thank you very much. Have a good contest. Bye-bye. 73 and QRZ 2 Echo 0 Victor Papa X-ray contest. Two stations calling. X-ray Tango Juliet. Go ahead.
Golf 8 X-ray Tango Juliet. Germany 8 X-ray Tango Juliet. Over.
Yes, Golf 8 X-ray Tango Juliet. Very good evening. You're 5555 010 number 10 in Italy Oscar 91 Quebec Victor. 91 Quebec Victor, over.
Roger. 5707 Italy Oscar 91 Quebec, over.
Yes, all copied. Golf 8 X-ray Tango Juliet. Thank you very much indeed. 73, have a good contest. And QRZ 2 Echo 0 Victor Papa X-ray contest. Golf 8 Lima Zulu Echo, and another station calling underneath there. If you can just stand by. Golf 8 Lima Zulu Echo 5555011 number 11 in Italy Oscar 91 Quebec Victor. Italy Oscar 91 Quebec Victor, over. Yes, all copied. Thank you very much indeed. Have a good contest. Bye bye. And QRZ 2 Echo 0 Victor Papa X-ray contest.
Charlie Lima Yankee.
Golf 8 Charlie Lima Yankee. Very good evening. 5959 012 number 12 in Italy Oscar 91 Quebec Victor. That's 91 Quebec Victor, over.
Roger, roger, good evening, good to work again. 59010, number 10, Italy Oscar 91, Uniform Tango, over.
Yes, thank you very much for the 91 Uniform Tango, and have a good contest. Bye-bye.
Great.
And QRZ contest, 2 Echo 0, Victor Papa X-ray contest.
Golf 7, Lima, Romeo, Quebec.
Golf 7, Lima, Romeo, Quebec. Very good evening. 5959 013, number 13 in Italy Oscar 91 Quebec Victor, over.
Okay, QSL, thanks very much. You're 59 also 007, number 7 from India Oscar 91 Tango Quebec 91 TQ, over.
Yes, thanks for the 91 Tango Quebec. 73, have a good contest. QRZ contest, 2 Echo 0 Victor Papa X-ray contest. CQ contest, 2 Echo 0 Victor Papa X-ray contest. Now this is the point in the contest where you consider going to bed, but we plough on for the points. I'm now on 29 contacts, which is 2 better than last time, but 7 worse than the time before, so not great conditions, very noisy, no propagation up north at all. I've made 82, 92 and Juliet Oscar 02, but no threes at all, which is unbelievable, terrible. Did work GI 4 SNA in Italy Oscar 6-4, which is nice, but everything else completely pants. So there we are, but we'll carry on and see where we go. What I tend to do is work my way around the rotator and try and knock off the southern squares early on, and then I can concentrate on north. But today has been so bad. I've worked 9-0 to the south and nothing else really. 819101 obviously, 8292 and 02 obviously, but that's about it. So if I only score 8 multipliers tonight. I think that'll be the worst I've ever done on 6 metres, so not good conditions. But now I've kind of given up trying to get 8-0, and now I'm going for the north. I've got we're 10 to 10 now, so got 40 minutes, and it'd be very nice to knock off 8-3 and 9-3, if not 8-4 and 9-4. But we'll give it a go. Let's twiddle around and see what's there. Two Echo Zero Victor Papa X-Ray. Yeah, Golf 6 Uniform Bravo Mike. I just got the locator, I'm afraid. Juliet Oscar 01 Charlie Echo. Could you give me the signal report and the serial number again? I'm swinging the beam to you, so I'm sure I'll pick you up fine in a second. Yeah, I got 5 and 1 029. 5 and 1 029. Is that correct? Thank you very much. Good evening. You're 5 and 2 52 030 number 30 030 number 30 in Italy Oscar 91 Quebec Victor. Italy Oscar 91 Quebec Victor. Over. Yes, roger, roger, roger. All copied, all correct. Have a good contest. Shouldn't be struggling like that with Juliet Oscar 01 though. That's just nonsense. But there we are. Alright, so that's one more anyway. One last call. CQ contest. 2 Echo 0 Victor Papa X-Ray. Last call. Uh, 2E0 VPX. Now going clear. Good night, everyone. Right. Well, that wasn't very good, but there we are. That's 31. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 locators, which is pretty naff. I'll just show you, just jog the camera. Okay, I'll just show you the way I do my log, and I guess that different people do it different ways. So I don't know if you can see that. So date, time, obviously, frequency, mode, power, call sign worked, and then the signal reports that I've sent and received, and then I use the column there in the paper report and this one for the serial number I sent, the serial number I received, and the locator square for the station that I've worked. And I tend to, just for those of you who've not done a contest before, I tend to scribble as I go like that. And enter it straight into the log as soon as I've confirmed the call. Not that it's been a lot of use tonight really, but I also tend to do a grid square like that, showing the locator squares that I'm aiming for. This is just a terrible you just wouldn't believe how bad this is, but obviously I'm in 9-1, so I worked you know, the immediate vicinity, and then GI4SNA in Northern Ireland, but nothing else, just nothing else at all. But it's helpful to have this grid square if you're trying to clock up points, because obviously once let's say I'd worked 01, 02 and 03, there'd be no point in beaming east anymore. I might as well concentrate and try and get the locators around the other side of the country. So that's how I do it anyway. Okay, so here we are on the RSGB contest page, and I'm now going to transcribe my log. This is the way I do it. You can do it differently, but this is how I do it. So I find it easier this way because I like to use a paper log. So here's tonight's 50 megahertz 6 meter UKAC. We're going to click on that. We scroll. These are the rules. We scroll down to the bottom, and I'm going to choose transcribe your log online here. So if you've made an electronic log, you can upload it and so on, but I do it by transcription. Okay, so today's date, 22nd of January. The section, I'm going to do it restricted. Club, of course, is Milton Keynes, so let's find it. Where are we? Milton Keynes IRS. Very important to select us because we get the points. And then your call sign in that box there. Press next. Okay, so 22nd of Jan, UKAC restricted, 2E0VPX, locator sent, my locator, India Oscar 91, Quebec Victor. QTH location sent, well, in this particular case, we don't have to send it, but it's Leighton Buzzard. In this contest, you don't need to say where you are, but that's where I am. Number of QSOs made tonight was pretty abysmal, but not as bad as it was the last time. 31. Milton Keynes IRS, name and call sign of operator. Andy Brown, whoops, go back and correct that. Andy Brown, 2E0VPX. My transmitter was a Yaesu FT897. My power output was 50 watts. My receiver was also the Yaesu FT897. My antenna was a 4-element Vine. There we go. It's picking it up from the last time I entered this. My QTH above sea level is 89.91 meters. I know that, by the way, because I've got a very handy tool on my iPad, which gives me all sorts of interesting things, including the altitude above sea level. Antenna height is about 30 to 40 feet, so I'll say 12 meters. Conditions were poor, especially to the north. Okay, you don't have to enter anything there if you don't want to, but sometimes I do. Name, Andy Brown. Call sign, 2E0VPX. Address. I'll go down. I'll use 740H. Telephone. And email. Oops. And a pin. We go next. Okay, so I now get an email from them with all that information on, just confirming that I've entered it. And now I get to upload my log, and you'll see that there are 31 lines for the 31 QSOs that I made. I'll just add a couple for you, and then we'll break. I don't think you want to sit and watch me do the whole lot. It is important to get the right format, no slashes, and it puts the date in for you, and also the time, no dots, colons or anything else. Be careful as you're typing, because if you make mistakes it can muck up the log entirely, so you do have to try and be careful to get it right. So that's the report sent, my serial number, and the report received, and their serial number, so the report they sent me. their locator, India Oscar 91 Tango Papa, calculates the points automatically. If you want to put a comment in, you can, and then scroll down to the next one. Always in UTC the times. I'll just put this one in for you. You might recognise he's cool. He's not really up to much, to be quite honest with you. He does try, but you know, he's getting on a bit now. So there we go. But I do try and work him and give him a point, you know. And where was he? 001. And Dave's locator, India Oscar 92 November Bravo. Now you see both those are in green. That's because they are multipliers. If you enter in locators that you've already got, it doesn't add to the multipliers, but it's already counting. Look, that I've got 2 multipliers, and it will then calculate the total points. But I'll come back to that in a moment and show you the rest when I've entered the rest of the log. Okay, so I've finished typing in the log, and you can see that I got 2,396 points and 8 multipliers. The furthest distance station was GI4SNA, which was a distance of 464 miles. And this locator was India Oscar 64 X-ray Mike. And that gave me total points of 19,168, which is all jolly good, really. not as good as it should be, but there we are. Alright, so now I'm ready to proceed with that. I can press on the next button. Are you ready to continue? Yes, I am. Okay, so there's my log. Don't worry about category, there isn't one in this one. It's just a section which is restricted. Everything else looks okay. I can either submit later or submit now. I'm going to submit this one now. Okay, and having submitted it, I can now see a map of all my QSOs if I want to, which isn't very impressive, but there they are. Alright, so you can see that, which is quite nice. And then I have to add the score to the claim score page if I'm ready to do that too. So I will do that now. And there's my score. That's the line that will be listed, and I can add my comments in here. So I shall do my usual. Whoops. And it remembers. It remembers the line I put in on the last one, which was just after the news that we were leaving Bletchley Park, I think, and I put alive and well and heading for a golf club near you. But I don't think anyone found it particularly funny. So there we are. So I'm not going to do that again. Let's just delete that. There we go. So just 73 from MKARS, and I'll now submit that score. Okay, so here's the league table for tonight of all those people who have actually entered. Now that'll get bigger by the morning. 36 people have entered so far. There's GI4SNA, who we worked, G3PYEP, which our friends in Cambridge. And where am I at the moment? I'm down here. So I'm 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15th out of 36, which isn't bad. If I finish in the top half, then usually I'm quite happy with that. You can see that conditions were really pretty poor tonight. Even GI4SNA and PYE didn't work huge amounts of multipliers. They did. PYE did very well actually with that number of multipliers, but generally speaking, look, the number of multipliers is well down. So poor conditions tonight. And but there we are. Let's see if we can find Dave. I wonder if G1MZD has entered his score yet. Doesn't look like he has, but I shall enjoy that moment tomorrow, providing I beat him, of course. Not that we're competitive, eh, Dave? So that's how you do it. And then if I want to look this up tomorrow, I can go back home here, come in tomorrow, and over here it's recently claimed scores, so I can click on there and see where I'll be by then. I won't be there by then, no doubt, because there'll be a lot more people having entered. On top of that, once everything is adjudicated, then you get a league table of all the clubs. So, for example, the 2 metre UKAC, which has only had one contest so far, I think. Yeah, there we go. And I didn't enter it because it was right smack bang after Christmas. So goodness knows where we'll be, but we won't be very high up. In fact, I can't even see us. Oh, there we are. Look, we're 23rd. And if you click on us, you'll see that we had 2 entries, G1MZD and M0GXZ. And you can do that on all of the bands. You can have a look at where the club is on all the bands in the UKAC. Okay, I hope you found that useful, and I hope a few more of you will do the contest. Very simple to do, as you've seen tonight, and good fun even when conditions are poor. But when conditions are good, it's even better. 7-3.